Hi, my name is Nicole Smith, and this is my audience. Okay, I'm here to talk about the dangers of using your phone while driving. It was a Thursday night, not long ago, when a 21-year-old girl was driving, speeding through the highway. She was a great student, an excellent daughter, and a great artist. All of a sudden, when she was driving back home, her phone lit up, and instead of leaving it there while she was speeding over 40 in the speed limit, she grabbed her phone and got a text message from a friend asking her if she was home yet. While she was trying to answer that text, her car hit a curve and she was not able to stop, and the car turned 3 times, and the girl was severely injured. And the text message she got from her friend, that friend was me. And after I heard in the news that she had crashed because she was texting me, I felt terrible, and now every time I grab my phone or think about grabbing my phone while I'm driving, I think back to this accident and wait till I get home. I'm sure that everyone here has either known someone who has died or been injured in a car crash, or has heard about it in the TV or in the news. And we're here to discuss how to stop this accident and find the causes and the solutions for the problem. Unfortunately, most of the car accidents occurring right now are due to the usage of phones while driving or speeding, and this is actually even worse than drunk driving. And after doing a thorough research about all of this, I came to the same conclusion as most experts, and the simplest solution would be to stop using your phone. But that cannot happen because a lot of people have trouble not looking at their phone or answering a call if there's an emergency. For this speech, I want you to listen carefully with an open mind and try to figure out with me different solutions that we can aim for to stop this reckless, distracted driving. The issue at hand is that no matter how safely you think you can use your phone while driving, there's no way you can do it. If you use your phone, you're being distracted, and that 5 seconds that you're not looking at the road could cause a severe accident, not only to you, but to the people around. This brings me to the first part of the problem, which would be the endangerment of the driver while using his phone. According to Slate magazine, there's a phenomenon called cognitive capture or inattention blindness, which is when the person is looking at their phone and they go to this different reality or state of mind where they are so focused on the online life that they are not paying attention to their surroundings or think they can manage doing both things at the same time. The National Safety Council reported that the cell phone use while driving has caused 1.6 million car crashes each year, and 1 out of 4 car crashes is due to the driver using the phone. 21% of these drivers are teens, and according to the Harvard Center for Risk Analysis, 2,600 driving fatalities and 330,000 injuries per year occurred in the past 6 years due to this reckless driving. The second part of the problem is how using the phone can not only affect the driver but the people around him. According to Driving at Home, when we multitask, our brain is actually switching from task to task, which means we're not fully focused in what we're doing. Even though you think, like many teenagers, that you can use your phone, watch TV, and then do your homework at the same time, your brain is actually working in overload, and you end up distracted and eventually crashing if you're driving. NHTSA is an organization that prevents or makes people aware of the dangers of this distracted driving. And it says that texting is the most alarming distraction. Sending or reading a text takes your eyes off the road for 5 seconds. If you're going at 55 miles per hour, that would actually be like driving the length of an entire football field with your eyes closed. So you can imagine the amount of accidents that could occur at that simple time. The nationwide survey said that 45% of Americans have been actually hit or nearly hit by a driver who was focused on their cell phone and distracted by a phone call. Now that we have seen the extent of the problem, we're gonna start exploring some of the causes of it. For this problem, I identified 4 causes, which would be inexperience, multitasking, the lack of laws and awareness, and the rise in technology. One of the causes is inexperience. By this, I mean that many teens start driving and they don't fully understand the rules of the roads, and they think that because they're young and their brains are like functioning more, they can multitask and do things at the same time while they're driving, and it's actually reckless. Which leads me to the second cause, which is multitasking. As I mentioned before, according to Professor Kahneman, it's a myth. Your brain is multitasking in a way that it switches from every task you do, and the more tasks you add, the more overload your brain goes through. So if you're driving and you think you're safely using the phone because you're shifting your eyes back and forth, you're not. It's not safe. Those 5 seconds that you blink, you will eventually crash or cause an accident for someone else. The third cause is a lack of laws and awareness. I feel like there's not a law that like drunk driving or texting that the police can actually sue you or give you a ticket for using your phone while driving. So many people think it's normal and it's okay to do it. There's also very little awareness. There is the campaign, as I mentioned, the NHTSA, which they create videos and courses and websites that allow people to understand the dangerous causes of distracted driving and how using your phone while you're driving can cause a lot of accidents. There's actually only, according to Slater magazine, there's only been 5 states that have an actual law that prevent people from using their phone while driving, which is a problem because there's 50 other states, like 45 other states that have no laws towards this, and people just find it normal. The last cause is the rise in technology. Clearly, according to the Pew Research Center, 64% of Americans right now own a smartphone, and out of those 64%, 97% of them use it to send text messages while driving. So far we've covered the extent of the problem and its different causes, and now we're going to move on to the different solutions or the different steps to create the solution. First off, it would be to change the laws and create more awareness, like the organizations like NHTSA. And then the last one would be the use of Bluetooth or hands-free devices, which is not the most ideal solution, but it's an improvement to people actually using their phone. Creating more laws to prohibit the reckless driving while using your phone could generate people to stop doing this, like drunk driving, because they're afraid of the consequences they'll suffer. Maybe they don't want to pay the ticket, or they're scared of going to jail. Different things that actually enforce this law and let people know that it's not a normal thing and a correct thing to do to use your phone while you're driving. Creating more awareness is vital because people, as I mentioned before, don't think there's anything wrong with using your phone while you're driving, and that's very dangerous, especially for teenagers, because they believe that they can do all this at once and they end up not hurting themselves but the people around them. Lastly, the last solution, as I mentioned, was using Bluetooth devices or hands-free devices, which is not ideal because there's still many accidents occurring because people stop and answer a call, and while they're trying to like find their Bluetooth or connect your phone to the car, they end up crashing because they end up being distracted by their phone, even if they don't have it in their hand. So I believe maybe the best solution would be that anytime you need to answer a call, answer it when you're in a full stop, like a red light, or you park your car, and then you can tell the person you're talking to that you're driving, and if anything comes up, you can hang up and put your life as a priority instead of the phone call. I know these steps might seem a little extreme, but If you think you can multitask and use your phone safely while driving, you're not. It's not correct. And there's this, every time you think about that, think about this line. In ABC News, a mom lost her son to a car crash because he was driving while using his phone. And she said her life was broken into 1,000 pieces, but the cell phone remarkably was still intact. This is ironic because the phone, which was what caused the accident, was the only thing that survived the car crash. Her son died, but her phone was perfectly safe. Everyone here has had the blessing to reach the age of being a college student, but not everyone does. Actually, most of the teenagers don't even reach their 20s because of car crashes and injuries so severe that cause their death. It is impossible to completely end the use of cell phones while driving, but there are many ways and solutions that we can use to reduce this and therefore make the roads safer. I have met many people my age who have either been in a car crash due to a driver who's using their cell phone, or actually been the driver who created the crash. Be considerate to those around you and don't become just one more number in the statistics of the accidents of people who text and drive. Thank you.